Well, everything's going fairly well today. Um, I got, I had to space it up with blocks because yesterday I strained my hand a little bit, so it's doing better than it was the first time I heard it. But um, so anyway, this thing it appears to be fairly straight. It's definitely in the center. One shock seems to be a little tiny bit off, but maybe like this being a dirt bike, who knows how many wipeouts it had because this was all twisted sideways. I had this is part of the reason why my hand is sore because like this conglomerates how they make the tail light, all like sheet metal or thick metal, kind of all curved in around. I tried to readjust it to get it straight. And here a couple weeks ago, I took both hands and very carefully managed to bend it. And my hands were like sore for like 2 days. So, anyway, then along with using the hedge trimmer and sanding and holding things and buffing for and doing spokes for 6 months, wore my hand out. So anyway, I've been kind of careful with my hand today, but it was kind of difficult putting the tire on with one hand. But I managed to do it laying down there, very kind of slow and careful. And I had a chain. I have a chain breaker, so I had to take a link out of the chain because this sprocket's smaller. I have new sprockets coming. I found a 44 classic Japanese motorcycles. I don't know where they are, but they're not on eBay. But anyway, they advertised ones, so I was able to buy it and through Shop Pay. Now, usually I use PayPal, but they don't offer PayPal. But they had Shop Pay, and I haven't used my Shop Pay I only used it a couple times, like 3 years ago. And sure enough, I pressed go to checkout. Then it sent me a text code. And where I only had one computer, I found on the top of the screen, the little number comes up and you touch it and it goes down to a clipboard. And then you touch a bunch of buttons back and forth here. All of a sudden it jumps in and then it went to checkout. So I was quite grateful there. About $100. Actually, it was 111 Canadian. Uh, I probably had to pay COD on it because they didn't charge me tax, but it's coming by UPS. But anyway, that gives me a 44 tooth sprocket for the back, and I'm running the original 16 in the front. And I have a new sprocket for the front coming. $18, tax included, from a local dealer here, but she couldn't get any back sprockets at all in her supplier. But she was able to get a front sprocket new and a new chain. So that I'll be putting a 44 on. And I'm having a little bit of troubles with this plastic guard. Honda had it bolted too far out and just barely missing the chain on the inside. And there's that much tire room from the tire, like over half, 3/4 of an inch type thing. So somehow I got to get that chain guard over that way just a little bit because it rubs on the chain. The chain misses. The chain actually looks good up in there, and the tire looks good, and everything is actually straight enough. The tail light's off just a smidgen, but anyway, but I got it all together, and I have a new old stock. These SLs had originally a cable going down here to this and a little bracket. So I found a little bracket, or aluminum holder for the cable here. And the cable is like 2.5 inches shorter than this upper cable. And I found one for a good price. So it roots down here, anchors here, and goes on this. So this cable is plenty long for this. And even if I had this flipped over with the slightly shorter cable, I still need a mount, but I don't mind it down here. And there's the mount, so I'll spend a little bit of time and put on the older style cable down here. And the bracket, anyway, this all polished up good, and it actually fits. And my spacers were absolutely dead on. My knees are a little sore, so it's awkward getting up where I can only use one hand, and my hand is actually holding the camera. Anyway, this hand is almost totally useless, but it's coming around, but I have to be awful gentle with it. It seems to take an awful long time for some things to heal. But anyway, this kind of cool. But anyway, I'm not taking it down off the blocks just yet. More parts are on their way. This bike had the clutch was seized, and somebody at one time pulled on the brake on the clutch lever hard enough that, oh my lord, does that ever break? They broke the side of the case out. You can see where it's welded, and that loop for that little gear is still, it's oval. And also the push rod in there, which is right there, it pulls out and pushes in. It leaks oil, and it's been bent and mollyhawked at this end. So anyway, I found a new old stock rod and a new seal, and I found a used cover that's not broken. These covers on each bike is a little different, so I had to study the cover to make sure I bought the right one. So when that comes, that I can put a new rod, new bushing in there, or a new seal, and put my better cover on that's not all warped out and been welded. But somebody come onto that lever here thinking that they were going to unstick the clutch by pulling on the lever, and broke the case and bent the rod. So that's not how you actually do it, but... And then he said he had to take the cover off and unstick the clutch, like on the other side. So, but anyway, the clutch appeared to work good when I drove it. Anyway, back here, I just spotted. See that little chrome thing right there? I looked for 20 minutes down here on the floor for that little nut when I was I had all this off to readjust it, and I dropped a nut. Now I looked everywhere, and there it is in the tire. Crap. Anyway, I managed in my proceedings of looking for it, I found two little chrome nuts. I need one more for here, but I found two to put there. So anyway, yeah, that's where that nut went. Yep. Delicate walking in around this place. There are a lot of things can trip you up. So anyway, I just thought I'd share this. Other than that plastic chain guard, see, they got it made way out here. Like out here, there's an inch on this side, an eighth of an inch on that side. So I have to maneuver things a little bit to get that chain guard to miss that chain. It all but touched, even originally. Like, matter of fact, it did touch. There's scuffs all on the inside, on the close side, where it originally rubbed on it quite a bit. So, and now I have it set up with the wider chain, and in a little tiny bit makes it so that it scrapes on it. So I have to spend a little bit of time and see what I come up with. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and ooh, it's bright out here. Oh, isn't that funny? It won't pick up outdoors. So anyway, yeah, it won't go outdoors. As soon as it hits that bright light, it just turns right dead or bright. In here is okay. So anyway, Isn't that weird? I can't go outdoors. I can go outdoors, but the camera is all whited out. Well, anyway, see you later.